let's do a round of introductions. Remember, the meeting is being recorded, so be mindful about what you share. Share what you want the world to know about you. And if you want to say something off camera, just say that. Okay, let's get ready. Okay, let's take a moment and see how are we feeling? What's the energy level? Are we like very high? Are we like very low? Are we excited? Are we like, I don't know, nervous, anxious? Look, I'm moving. Look, you can read my body signals. I'm moving. My energy is all over right now. You know how to do this. Huh? You can be in those business meetings and then you know everything that's happening. Like you're having a psychological skills now, and you know how to read the subconscious. Okay. Welcome to Community Conversations July. This is the first encounter of 3. And I'm Dr. Velazquez. And this is Science and Shamanism. And we're going to talk about experiential education. We're going to talk about collaboration. We're going to talk about functional health. We're going to talk about whatever we want. You know, we have the online programs. This is one of them. And we also have the live opportunities to gather in Colorado and in other parts of the world. And one of the programs that we're developing is also this multi-state gathering. So every season we want to have a gathering in a different state, and we want to travel the world together. Eventually maybe go to Australia and go to the UK. And yeah, I think this is lovely. This is going to get big. So as usual, we can say like name, maybe, well, your name is already there. Where are you in the world? And your relationship to FND, and something that you want us to address today. It can be, I want to share my idea. I want to share how I want the world to know this, or it can be a question, it can be a comment, it can be a story. But how do you want to make the most out of the 54 minutes that we have today? Erin, go right ahead.
I'll go ahead. I'm Taryn, as it says under here. I am an FND patient. I've been struggling with FND since about 2022. And I worked with Yadira through her experiential education class, which brought me a lot of wisdom and has kind of set me on a larger healing journey. So I'm very grateful for that experience. Right now I have a special interest in researching with Dr. V, women in FND, specifically hormonal influences, societal expectations. We just did a live on it the other day, so that's kind of my special interest area. I'm also slowly getting back into social media and just kind of finding out what is the best way for me to do that, that helps advocate, but also take into consideration that I am an FND patient and I do still struggle. So that's just a little about me.
Erin, what do you want to take out of the conversation today? It's 5 of us, 5 women in the, no, yeah, 5 of us. So anything special, anything in particular that kind of, considering what you said, I'm interested in research, in women and FND, and I'm interested in social media. Is there like any question that you want to put out there for all of us?
My guess, one main one would be if you also have an interest in women and FND, or you are curious about how your own hormones affect your cycle. Or I shouldn't say how your hormones affect your cycle. We're looking more into like, how does our cycle in the different stages of our cycle affect our FND symptoms? Are they truly exacerbated by hormones? So if that's something you're interested, please reach out to me or Dr. V, because we're starting a study group, and we obviously need as many people that have a uterus as possible. So that would be my first number one, first and foremost. If you have any interest in learning more, or you know somebody who's maybe said something like, oh, my symptoms are so much worse the week before my period, or something along those lines, like this study group is for for you. It's for you if you say yes to any of that. And then my only other thing I guess I could say is with my social media and going into activism, I'm going to be sharing my story as well as other people's stories. And I think I've decided that I want to do it as more of a podcast interview style. So I'm looking for volunteers who might be interested in having a conversation with me, just a back and forth friendly conversation, but it would be similar to this, like a Zoom call or a Skype call, and we would record it. It would go onto YouTube and then also be shared across social media. But I'd love to hear other people's experiences and the modalities that have helped them. And especially if your FND journey has brought you to a non-conventional career, or if you're trying to have a non-conventional career. Jess Haas, I'm looking at you. You're on my list.
Awesome, awesome. Let us take one minute, all of us, before continuing the introductions, and let us try to do a little bit of collaboration around the following question. You can put it in the chat, your answer, if it's easy, if you have easy access to the chat. If you don't have easy access to the chat, then raise your hand, and then you can just say, what do you want to know? What would you like to know around or under this big topic? Women and FND. Just connect to your mind, to your emotions, to your body. What would you like to explore? What would you like to be explored? What would you like to know? What would you like to debate? What do you think is something good that hasn't been addressed? Just put it out there for us to consider it for this study group. No rush, 1 full minute. I'm gonna keep track of the time. Put it in the chat or raise your hand and say 1 or 2 sentences. Yeah, FND and hormonal cycles, FND and pregnancy, FND and parenthood. These are big ones. These are really important. FND and pregnancy. And it goes both ways, how FND affects pregnancy, how pregnancy affects FND. And the same with parenthood. This is so, I hadn't thought about this. This is so insightful. How can we naturally work with our cycles to reduce symptoms exacerbated by hormonal fluctuations? So yeah, this is a big question too. And we're gonna discover these things through experiential education. We're gonna be doing the exercises and seeing, okay, but first we're gonna see, okay, why do we get the symptoms and the sensations fluctuation? What is underneath that? So we're gonna be discovering a lot of things. What is the actual capacity in women? Why does it appear to be that we keep shouldering and carrying our burdens and others' burdens? Where, as women, can we find a balance with just being a woman, a woman in today's modern society? This falls under the topic of society, women's society and FND, which is already a topic. These are good. Yes, any insights? No, not on this one. Okay. And then, of course, as Terry said, we're all invited to participate in this. And then I would really utilize Terry's invitation to do lives, because you are all trying, right? Oh, me too, to realize ourselves. So lives could be a good way of putting out there in the world the work that you're doing, your hopes, what you're studying, the discoveries that you're having in your family, how you're changing the world, and your ancestral heritage, and all these things. So take advantage of Terry's invitation to do lives if you can. It can be fun. Okay, thank you so much, Terry. And after 30 seconds, what's next? Tanya, go right ahead.
Hi, can you hear me? Hi, my name's Tanya. I was diagnosed with FND almost about a decade ago, and I reached Dr. V through FND Hope International, and our paths just crossed, and it was a meeting of a very strange and unique occurrence, which made no sense at the time, but makes complete sense now. Um, I think what I'd like to get out of this today, what I feel is just being more, how do I be more aware of my innate patterns that keep consuming me? And I think it's normal.
Wow, this is so profound. How do I become aware of my pattern or of the patterns that I should change, the patterns that are not the best for me at this stage in my life, the patterns that are not the best for me uh, for my goals, right? But because you're right, like we have this programming and we have all these blind spots. So let us take a moment and let us try to answer this one. Let us, each one of us, you can put it in the chat or you can raise your hand and give one or two sentences, but let's take a full minute. This is important for each one of us. How am I aware of my limiting patterns? How can each one of us, when we're alone in our world by ourselves, how do we realize there is a limiting pattern playing out? Mind, body, emotions, feel. And you can guess, just put it out there, guess. Play with yourself. Anyone? Okay, Robin. Noticing patterns through tracking, feedback, and the feeling of, oh, this again. Yeah, and yes, I'm gonna go to the first word that you said, tracking, because we feel the pattern. We feel it. There is something that we feel, and it's kind of, we either feel it in the mind, in the emotions, or in the body, but it's something kind of uncomfortable. And we can feel it in the first place, or we can feel it when someone reacts or when someone kind of reflects the pattern. So it can be we notice it just by ourselves, or and there is something uncomfortable. Why? This I learned from shamanism. Uh, you know, this the snake is the animal that represents transformation. The snake sheds its skin 3 or 4 times a year, depending on the specific species. It bothers when something is old, like it bothers the snake when the skin is old and it's ready to shed. So she is gonna be the snake kind of when it's displacing itself, it kind of displaces in a way where it helps that discomfort get rid of. So the pattern is uncomfortable. And when you feel the discomfort, you may not know yet exactly what it is, tracking. That's what Robin said. Feel, even if it's mental, emotional, or physical, and then track it. Hang in there, and then you will get to the root cause. Great insight. Thank you, Robin. And then it's funny, she said tracking because I can definitely feel an episode start, or maybe rather my whole right side is feeling activated. This I think is uncomfortable for me. Yes, Tanya, right? And this is so interesting how sometimes there is the resonance of a truth and this is Why they say, oh, this can be triggering. What is trigger? What is a trigger? Sometimes it's a resonance. Okay, so now keyword. What is the keyword now? Resources, right? Breathing, right, Tanya? Yeah, closing your eyes, trusting, moving a little bit, stretching, rubbing, hugging yourself, knowing that we're in this together, not rushing it. There is no rush. There is no rush. Breathe. See
I was
yourself.
trying to rush it. I'm trying to rush it.
Shoulder to shoulder, pushing forward, right?
Oh,
I know, time.
cool. I'm good, thanks.
Your time. Take your time. Oh, let us all take a deep breath. This is real. We don't joke around. We surf the wave. Yeah. Ground. Feel the chair. Drop your shoulders. Open your hips.
I can feel how tense I am, and it's like I'm so disconnected to it. It's oh.
Little by little, Tanya is going through a lot at this moment. We all have had those periods, and the periods will likely come back because we all know life is cyclical. Good times, bad times, good times, bad times. So Tanya is traveling a rough patch.
All good. I'm good. Thank you.
But things are different. You know a lot more. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tanya, for being so real and sharing this moment of teaching and learning and practicing, all of us together. Okay, all of us may be in a different space right now. Some of us may be activated, some others may be more stable, some others may be going down. Notice how you are, where are you? And then if you feel ready to participate next and introduce yourself and say a little bit about you and what would you like to get out of the conversation today, maybe honor your experience and say a little bit also about how you're feeling, right? Like I'm feeling my heart so warm, for example. I'm feeling my hands are cold. I have my legs crossed. It makes me feel more grounded within myself, right? Or you don't have to say anything about your person. Everything is a choice. Nothing is mandatory here. Have fun. If you want to have fun, have fun. Okay? Don't take it too seriously. This is about you.
I'm watching Jess to see if she's wanting to jump in. But I'm also happy to go next with a little intro. I am Robin. I am a psychologist living down in the Sacramento, California area. Been here for coming up on 2 years and from Canada originally. I came across science and shamanism through, I don't know where the first connect was, but seeing Dr. Velazquez's the model, the Holocene model, and having worked with some clients with FND, in reality having grown up with a mother with undiagnosed FND, which she has since I've taken the course, and she's asked more questions, helping put pieces together in a way that's made a lot more sense. First, she was like, eh. And then she came back and she's like, can you tell me more? Because I'm having this jaw pain that no one can diagnose. And so that has made some really big strides in understanding for our whole family. And my clinical work was originally largely with folks who just faced a lot of adversity and whatever diagnosis happens to come with that. Anxiety, depression, PTSD, adjustment disorder, all these different labels that we put on it. And then certainly a big group of folks where none of the labels are really a great fit. And it's just kind of like someone throwing diagnoses just to see, just trying to cover all the bases. And then I ended up working with one or two folks with diagnosed FND. And like we found that label in the process of better understanding what they were going through. And I was a brand new baby psychologist at the time, just out of grad school, and was out of my depths. And my supervisor wasn't sure either. So I'm calling around the whole city of Ottawa, Canada, trying to find anyone who had more answers. And the closest I got was a fellow who worked in the hospital with folks with and I borrowed some of his techniques and we did what we could. But I certainly, when I left that role, I left feeling as though I did not do enough. And then I proceeded to fall into a very significant phase of burnout for myself. And I left the profession for a year and a half. And as I was trying to get back in the profession, I noticed I had a lot of unprocessed energy that was showing up in my life in ways that felt like throwing diagnoses at a wall. And then when I found this Holocene model, everything started to fit, pieces started to click, and that sense of like there is a path here was really wonderful. And I took, I think, at least two of Dr. V's courses. First, I was like, I'm doing it as professional development. And I was like, oh, I'm doing this for myself. And it helped me immensely. And it gave me the grounded energy that I needed to get back into the profession. And now I largely do work, I do equine therapy now, which I'm starting to look at parallels and overlaps and different ways that it works and why both of them seem to work. And there's this kind of what the science says, and there's this little bit we don't totally know yet that just works. So I'm excited to see where these worlds may merge or overlap with each other. And on the side, I do assessments for the state of California. I do disability assessments. And it's so rare that FND comes up as a disability diagnosis, but I'm seeing more folks where this is the right fit. It's not anxiety and depression and this and this. It's like, it's all encompassed in this way. So being able to even give the clients I work with at least more breadcrumbs on why this whole constellation all fits together is really cool. So I'm super grateful and really happy to be here with y'all.
Thank you so much, Robin. Such a pleasure to have studied with you and exchange with you and learn with you. It has been amazing. And I hear you now, and I'm like, oh my God, I want us to put some group classes together for like people, and how about like teaching psychologists and putting like a little course for psychologists, and of course equine therapy. We have to explore. I want to explore with you. And the disability, that's such a big topic. There is also opportunities there to see how we can improve the process and the benefits people get, and how also the government and disability insurance companies, how they can understand and support in a manner that allows the person to reintegrate to society. Right? Because if disability supports well for the time they have and the way they can, patients are going to get better and they're going to want to go back to realizing their mission. So how can we like improve? Because it's a relationship between the disability agencies and the patients. So how can we improve this relationship? Wow, I'm so honored that you're here. Thank you for coming and joining. And I wanna say that the path, the Holocene method and experiential education, I wanna say that I have not invented anything. The path is ancestral. Path is ancestral, right? It is the knowledge that we simply kind of forgot. I don't know why we stopped transmitting this basic knowledge. It's easy, right, Robin and everyone? It's easy, it's second nature. Of course, we need to kind of remember and practice, but the path is ancestral, like our ancestors designed it for us, and many scientists have been proving it scientifically. So, yeah, thank you so much. We're going to continue talking privately. I'm going to be bugging you like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Okay, Jess knows it. I do it with her and her husband too. Like, hey guys, what are we doing? Come on, give me something. I'm bored. Everyone here knows it. Okay, Jess, are you ready?
I'm Jess. I was diagnosed with FND in 2022. It actually came full on with a hit to the head by a student that I was working with. And so kind of threw us for a loop. I think I spent like the first year like not understanding, got into Yadira's class with Taryn. And we all studied together and worked really hard, and then actually traveled to Peru with Yadira to one of her retreats. So I went through her psychedelic medicine routine and things like that. I've been way more stable since coming back. Seizures are down, like a lot of symptoms are down. And then um so now like I'm just trying to figure out like my path. So I study right now, I'm studying Reiki. I got my Reiki 1 certification. I'm working on Reiki 2. I also use medicinal mushrooms to help with like my daily work and everything else, and that helps keep my brain from going in 1,000 miles per hour in different directions. And so um oh, and I'm from Southern Oregon. I don't think I said that, but I'm from Oregon. So um born and raised here. I'm like, I didn't really have a question. I just kind of came to kind of see what the conversation was about, just to kind of get, see what everybody's kind of working on. So I've been kind of just working on myself a lot, just trying to get myself to be able to get out there again. So, yeah.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I think it was also Tanya who mentioned the spiritual aspects, right? Like, oh, Jadira and I connected, and it felt kind of like it was meant to happen, or it has been feeling like the connection, right, with the community, like something magical. And then Reiki, I also consider one of those modalities that is kind of magical. I
Mhm.
consider within the umbrella of spiritual tools, and within the umbrella of spirituality and society, where we connect in these magical ways, right? Because what is Reiki? Do you want to explain a little bit, Jess? What is Reiki for the community, for the people who are going to come across the video? Because I don't know
Yeah.
much about Reiki, to be honest. So teach us a little bit,
Okay.
a couple
So
minutes.
Reiki, like we all know, we're energetic beings. So we have energy from the top to the bottom of our bodies. And so what Reiki does is when we get super stressed, or say you have something traumatic happen, sometimes that energy doesn't have anywhere to go. So it gets stored in the body, right? So what Reiki does is you ask obviously for permission from the gods, from, who you're studying from, your master, your Reiki master, things like that, and it gives you permission to use it. And so it comes from the body, and you like have a prayer you say, but you kind of just focus on certain spots. And sometimes there's like tapping to help release. There's I I blow a lot of air around. I don't know how to really explain it. But I have watched people go from being super closed up and not being able to communicate very well to like being able to share stories with me that had been trapped inside them for a really long time. And like I've gotten messages for things to help them heal from the spirit, from my guides. So it's very personal for everybody. Um, but it's an uh, energetic work. So it helps kind of just get the energy moving because it can get trapped or your energy can be too open. And so like there's places like, like the top of your head on the opening chakra, like you'll check if it's flowing really fast, then your brain's going to be going really fast. So you kind of got to close it down a little bit. And there's different areas in the body because we have 7 points, like the head, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the navel, and then like between your legs. And those are like the 7 points. And so you kind of just work with it to kind of get it flowing from head to toe through. And depending on who you are, depending on how you see things, you'll either get messages or you'll see colors, you'll see lights. It's very spiritual and it's very deep, I think, within a human being to be able to connect that way with somebody. Did I explain that okay? Yeah.
Yes, yes, I loved it. Thank you so much. So energetic beings, functional illnesses, right? Big relationship there. Then the fact that you consider your own spirituality and the spirituality of the client when you said, I ask for permission, I respect the tradition, right? Guides and guardian angels and gods and spiritual beliefs. So I like that because we do not have many spiritual tools that we're utilizing nowadays for the functional illness community. It seems that it has some somatics, which you said tapping and touching, and so it seems that it has some somatics there. It seems that it has also an interrelational and interpersonal component. We're social beings. So whenever there is another person coming to support you, to heal you, to investigate with you, there is an interpersonal healing component there that happens that is so important. We do feel alone, especially after having gone through traumas and stuff. You spoke about the chakras. This is interesting. There is a relationship there because the chakras are places of high energetic flow. The throat, right? Constantly moving with each breath. And the gut and the pelvic. You have the plexus there, the lumbosacral plexus there. You have all the digestive processes that are going on. So there is a connection also between the chakras and anatomy there. So yeah, my programs support the spirituality. I'm very curious about spirituality and spiritual tools. So thank you for sharing that. You also spoke about the mushrooms, right? It's something that you and I are trying, and Vince, your husband, we're trying to investigate and see how we put together like research and community and spiritual groups and a lot of it together. So thank you so much. Oh, there is someone else here. And I'm going to say her name. It's Natasha Whitboy. She's a little late. I usually don't admit people too late, but we do have a few more minutes. And I'm honored that she's here. So I'm going to admit her. She's going to introduce herself. And then let's see. Let's spend another 5 or 10 minutes and then we'll finish the call 50 minutes past the hour. If anyone has to leave, feel free to leave, okay? Don't be shy. Just drop a goodbye or do like this and feel free to leave. But we're going to stay 5 or 10 more minutes. Here she comes.
Hi, Indira. How are you?
I'm okay. The meeting is being recorded, so be mindful about what you share. We're going to be posting this on YouTube, and make sure you share with the world everything that you want the world to know. And do you want to turn
Excellent.
on, do you want to turn on your camera and introduce yourself a little bit? Do you know anyone in the group? What is your relationship with FND? We're curious. Three of us here don't know you. Nice
Sure,
to
I'm just
see
trying to
you.
see. I don't know. I can't see myself. That's very strange. Normally I can. Oh, there we go. Hi.
Yeah,
Hi. My name is Natasha. My apologies for being late. I've only picked up the message this morning.
that's okay. So this is what we're saying. Your relationship to FND. Why are you here? Where are you in the world? And is there
Sure.
anything in particular that you would like to take from the conversation today?
I'm just very curious to learn. I am based in Perth and I'm Tanya's sister.
Uh-huh.
And so I've been on the journey, not as close as she has, but been here to support
Uh-huh.
her and everyone else has been going through the same.
Uh-huh. Thank you so much. It's so nice to have a family member. Thank you so much. You see, Natasha, I'm gonna pick a little bit your brain and your experience because this is a problem that we have in the F&D world. Uh, hear so many things. I hear people say, my family is scared of me, or my family is blaming me, or my family doesn't understand me, or yeah, my family is not supporting me, I'm alone. And you, Natasha, you have taken, right? We did a course together, you have learned. So, what would you say? Maybe a message for patients who feel all that, feel alone, who feel that the family doesn't understand. Maybe a message to other family members who feel afraid because they don't understand the disease, who kind of don't get too close because they don't know what's happening. So a little message either for patients or for family members that maybe you can derive from your own experience and what you have been doing and something like that.
Sure. I think if I reflect on my own journey and my journey with my sister, I think it's being open and being curious and to educate yourself. I think there's a lot of traditional ways that we know when people are ill, present with symptoms that seem to be ill, that we tend to only go to what we know. And it's probably about taking the time to actually understand what FND is and what the symptoms are. And like with anything else, you don't blame someone when they've got cancer. You don't blame somebody when, something else has happened. So I don't think it's an issue of blaming. I think it's an issue of understanding where things are at and then trying to work through how you navigate through that.
Thank you
Navigate
so
through that together is probably what I'd say.
Thank you so much. Be curious. Be curious. Yeah, it's normal not to know it. It's normal not to know. Just stay curious. I know it's hard because emotions, right? Or fear or something. Just try to open your mind. The emotions will go down and stay curious. And then educate yourself, understand, learn. Take the time. We're so busy. Family members are so busy, especially when someone gets sick. Then other family members have to come and work to pay the bill because maybe the person is no longer working. So they get so busy. And sometimes they use work as a protective response, right? Okay, I'm just going to work. So I don't have to deal with the emotional aspect. But just take the time, right? Because it's necessary to take the time to learn. And yeah, FND is a strange disease because it looks, I'm going to be honest, sometimes it looks like the person is doing it. Sometimes it looks like the person could stop. When you see it, it looks like it. But the reality, and this is why I'm saying it's a strange disease. The reality is that they cannot stop it, and they don't want to do it. They don't want to make it. Yeah. So a little bit of like dissonance there to what it seems. It's like magical. Oh, you see, now you don't see it. Oh, it's not there, now it's there. It's kind of magical. And this is energy, right? Energy does these things. It's an energetic illness. So get curious, take the time. It's so interesting. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's start getting ready to close. Maybe 1 minute each person to close, to say goodbye, to send a final message to the world or to ourselves here, maybe to set an intention for another gathering or for another project. Just take one minute to close in the manner you feel represents you. And I am so grateful for you being here and having taken the time. And for everyone who comes and sees the video, also very thankful for your interest, and share it. We're learning and growing together. So feel free to close it up with your final words. Tanya, go right ahead.
I'll go. It's so interesting. Today, this moment is a culmination. So I'm just going to close my eyes as I talk. Of this whole week, because it was a matter of trying to challenge or identify, notice innate behavioral patterns. And part of that was the lack of being seen or acknowledged. And I wasn't understanding that. And now with Tasha, even just you letting it in, I'm feeling activated, like down here in my belly, and I'm feeling seen. So to family members out there, carers for FND patients, we just need to be seen and acknowledged by you. Please help us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's so brave. That's so heartfelt. That's so meaningful. And I know how it is, right? Like to feel, right, the sensations and the emotions and surfing the wave. Surfing the wave with the style. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay, who's next? Who's next? Erin, go right ahead.
I'm just going to go because my laptop battery is almost dead. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for joining and anyone who comes in to watch, and everyone for sharing their experiences. Tanya, for being so vulnerable. Robin, it was wonderful to meet you. You are doing amazing things. We need more providers like you to take the time to understand this and to put those connections together. So I think your experience is extremely valuable, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. As for everyone else, Jess, love you, girl. Yadira, it's always a joy to see you. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you. You are amazing. We're gonna rock it. Thank you. Who's next?
Happy to pop in and just express thanks for everybody. It does not shock me that there is these constellations of people all over the world who are making these connections and connecting with each other and themselves. And it's given me a lot more hope in the work that we do, the work that there is to be done. And I'm just so excited to continue to learn amongst you all and with you all. And think this is not a goodbye. This is probably just to see you later, some way, shape, or form.
Thank you so much, Robin. We truly need more people like you. So let's put something together so you can teach the world of psychology how it is done. Thank you. Okay, who's next?
Okay, I can go.
Go ahead,
Um,
yes.
just going to say thank you to everybody for coming and sharing your stories. I think that the more we talk, the more we open up about this diagnosis, the more the word gets out. The word's not out, I don't think, far enough for people to actually hear. So just keep advocating, keep working on yourselves, and I think in the end we'll get there. Like, I have strong hope. There's healing that's going to happen with everybody.
Yes, you're right. Yes, yes. And it gives us meaning and it gives us a mission. It gives us, right, something to do. Like, and we're doing it in a manner since we have a community, we are speaking the same language, we're reviving ancestral knowledge, we're at the forefront of like psychedelics use, we're international, we're going to be traveling. I'm sure we're going to make lots of money. Hold on tight and wait until we'll see. Be patient, be patient. The treasures, they are not too easy to find, but they can be found. It's fun. It's fun to have the community. So thank you so much, yes, for encouraging the world to keep doing this and getting bigger and bigger in our teams. Natasha, any final words, please?
Yeah, I think even just listening to the wrap up, and again, apologies for not being able to be a little earlier. I think if there was a message, you're talking about message around family, but I think if there are others joining, the message I'd probably like to share is to the providers and to those that are there that make some of the assessments. And again, they make the assessments based on their own biases or their own knowledge without necessarily going and researching or actually understanding. To your point, I think, Adira, when you said one day looks good and then the next 7 doesn't, and then the one day that you can get support, it seems like you look good, but when you're really at your lowest, nobody's there. I think, again, if there's an opportunity to have more providers actually understand what that looks like and not just make judgment calls around what that support is, can make a big difference, because not then just dealing with the physical constraints, you then also have to deal with the financial, and that becomes a vicious circle and a vicious loop to try and get through. So I think if there is a message out there, would be to those individuals where there isn't just a tablet or medication or something that you can take that solves this, but really trying to understand what their journey of healing looks like and what others can do to support.
Yes, yes, this is excellent, an important point. And we could get more providers engaged. It's not that hard if we start like emailing or getting the contacts of the hospitals where we go, the ones that refer patients to us, Robin in your case, or and if you send me their contact information, I can send them a proposal for like a lecture. We can get the lecture to be CME certified to provide them continuing medical education credits. So it's not that hard to educate them. We just need to do a little bit of networking and just share some emails, but let's do it if it's necessary and we have the energy and the desire to do it. Count me in, and it can be done in an easy manner. It doesn't have to be like so overwhelming and so big. Little by little, like we can educate one another and have fun doing it. Okay, thank you so very much for your company, for your partnership, bring this together. I'm gonna paraphrase Robin. See you all later. Bye bye. Enjoy your evening.